Hey, it's Kat, and I'm here to show you how to make this really great masking card. So I'm starting using an embossing folder. This one kind of has like waves on it. It's from Close to My Heart, and I'm using about a 6x6 piece of white daisy white cardstock. So I ran it through my embossing folder, and you can see the texture on it there. Now I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim it down to about 2 inches. Okay, actually, sorry, 2.5 inches. And then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on that fish stamp. So I'm going to use my Misty for this because sometimes the stamp doesn't always stamp flush, and in this case I had to stamp it 3 times. Now I'm using a little device that kind of helps even the pressure, but even still, for whatever reason, it was not cooperating with me on this particular day. So they always say 3rd time's a charm, right? So I got it on the 3rd try, got a nice even stamp. I did use my intense black ink because I planned to color it with Copic markers, and I didn't want to have it run. So the nice thing is the stamp set has a coordinating thin cut, so I cut that. And now I'm going to use some Copic markers to go ahead and color in this bass. And so I'm just loosely coloring, not doing a lot of detail work, just kind of applying color. The beauty of these things is, with these stamps, is you can add as much color and be as detailed as you want, or just even keep it pretty basic. And so I'm kind of doing a little bit of blending between a lighter and darker yellow-green, using the darker for some of the highlights and the fins. And then I'm coming with the 3rd color, kind of a yellow tan color, just for the belly of the fish and its mouth. And then I'm going to add a little of a neutral to the inside of the mouth. And then a brown for the eye. Now I'm going to mat this fish on some circles. So I use a 2.5 inch for the white. And then the nice thing is, with these clear stamps, you can actually bend a straight stamp and make it curved, and that's what I did for this sentiment. I'm using Harbor ink, and I'm going to stamp up and add that to the top, and it says it's your day. And then I used a 3-inch circle with to cut the green background. So I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 pieces together, and just using a tape runner for my adhesive. You could even pop up the fish with foam dots or foam tape if you wished. Now I'm using one of the Close to My Heart card bases, which I love because they're already cut for me and have a coordinating envelope. I'm going to use Harbor cardstock as my base, leaving a little bit of a white border. So that's cut at 4 and 5 1/4. And then I'm going to add the embossed white, daisy white, to one side. And this is a pattern paper from the Hey Handsome collection. And it's kind of got those pine greens. So I'm going to add that on the other side. And it doesn't matter if these overlap. And sometimes I think it works out better when it does. That way you know you get a good fit. Just trying to line it up so that it's nice and even. Now I'm going to use some shimmer trim, in the pine. And this is nice because it will stick and kind of create a divider between those two. And I'm just going to use my non-stick scissors and just trim that down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add my adhesive to the back of that circle. Again, you could use foam tape to pop that up if you wished. And now I've got it all complete on the outside, but I do want to stamp Happy Birthday on the inside. So again, I'm going to use my Misty. I'm going to go ahead and just secure down that base. I'm using Honeybee Stamps Bitty Buzzwords, the birthday, and then the happy. And so I'm going to line those up. And when everything looks good, I will just ink that, and I'll be all set. I do like using the Misty because if I do need to make it more intense, I can repeat, and it lines the stamp up perfectly for me. And so now my card is pretty much all done. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and will join me again for another one.